Hi folks, this is all the fruit, and one of the important agricultural plants associated very closely with the Mediterranean is the common caper, a wonderful Mediterranean spice. Usually it's the flower buds which are being pickled and used as spices, but when you pickle all the flower buds, you don't get the beautiful flowers. So if you want to be really clever, you wait for the flowers and then you pickle the fruits, which are bigger than the buds and also have a similar taste and actually a lot more substance. They are filled with small seeds. And the most important thing is you get the beautiful flowers. The capers, they are quite widespread throughout the Mediterranean until the Middle East. Some all the way to India. They are cultivated in the Canaries and in a lot of other subtropical and Mediterranean climates in the world. But Germany, well, this really shocked me. This year, when I was basically tracing the capers northwards, I found them in Liguria, at the same geographical latitude as southern Canada, which was already amazing enough, but they were quite rare there. So I assumed, since I usually know them from places like Malta and Sicily, like the central Mediterranean, I assumed the subtropical areas of Liguria in northern Italy are like the northernmost places where they can grow. Then I found a couple really small ones, right in a couple meters from the waterline of Lago Maggiore, which is a lake with quite oceanic climate in the Italian Alps. That stunned me a lot. Then I found actually a capers growing area on Lago di Garda, an alpine lake with Mediterranean climate. That stunned me even more. They have a small-scale commercial production of capers in the Alps mountains. Then the next shock was when I found some on the Castello Sforzesco. I'm sure I'm butchering the name. Well, the big castle in the center of Milan. Milan is a place with quite a continental climate. They were growing there on the castle walls, and I thought, okay, that's the absolute limit. And now I'm finding them here in Germany at the Catholic Church of the village of St. Martin in the Weinstraße area of the state of Rhineland-Palatinate in Germany. And I was able to talk to the staff of the church, and they told me a lot of very interesting things. They have a Bible garden here with a lot of crazy things like carob and pistachios and olives, things most people won't even think are can be grown in Germany. And they are basically taking the risk with most of those things. They are not bringing anything indoors. They are leaving them outdoors, including the palms. I really cannot believe they're even leaving the aloe outdoors. I would have said totally no chance for it to survive here. But they also leave the capers outdoors. They just prune them back. I mean, this is a walkway after all. If you let them grow for several years, I think they'll cover everything. They prune them back and cover them with leaves. Cover them with branches as a winter protection. And the very mild regional climate and the microclimate here on this southern slope with the big church wall at the back does the rest. And those capers thrive. They said they already lost them once or so during the last 10 years, I guess during the big frosts around 2013. But the plants, well, this is the most impressive one. That's why I'm staying around it all the time. As you can see, quite an impressive base down here. The basal stems are definitely a couple years old. Let me show you the other ones. Here is a slightly smaller plant, but still with branches that grew like 2 meters in 1 year. Here are the other incredible, not so frost hardy plants of this garden. They have a third specimen somewhere here. Beautiful, slightly shorter, but a lot bushier. Also, look at the size of those fruits. In Milan, they seem to have spread on their own on the castle walls. It would be really amazing. Those fruits are so big. I would guess that they are pollinated. It would be crazy. There are a couple other spicy shrubs like Saturea montana. No, what is it? Yes, Saturea montana and lavender that are growing on those walls. And here the Mediterranean Euphorbia caratsias is also growing in these walls. But it would be so crazy if some small caper bushes would develop here in those walls. I don't think in the church wall it's built too well for this, but this old wall here seems to have enough cracks. That would be so crazy, that would be so amazing. And I will not exclude it completely. What is this? No, this is not a caper. No wall here. Yeah, so those things are growing here. They are flowering and they are fruiting. Are they producing viable seeds? I don't know. Basically, they could also, young plants could also take root here between those cracks in the pavement. Let's try those things because we are a fruit tasting channel. First, let's taste the buds. I mean, there is the caper flavor, but apart of that, the buds are kind of bitter. Through pickling, just like with olives, you remove the bitterness and replace it with a nice saltiness from the salt. Now let's see. A good size, well, a medium size fruit here. It seems the seeds are pollinated. Very interesting too. But also very bitter. Bah. Incredibly bitter. Yeah, the fruits you also need to pickle them a lot for a long time. And then they're a really nice snack. I would say even better than the buds because the caper flavor is not so strong, so you can eat them in bigger amounts. Look at that. This plant is producing well over 100 fruits. And I guess when they cut it back in October, November or so, they could actually harvest and pickle them. I didn't ask those people whether they actually harvest and pickle olives or capers or something like this. But ain't that amazing, folks? Those capers are growing here in Germany with minimal protection. You just cut off the long branches in autumn. You pile a couple branches from some other tree, or maybe even the caper branches themselves on top of the base, and then it survives in 90% of all winters. Let's see which caper it is. Oh, it has spines, so it's Capparis spinosa. However, nowadays spinosa and ovata are considered subspecies of the same very complex complex. Here you can see the spines again. Yeah, incredible, folks. That's mind-blowing, literally. So, folks, those were capers surviving with minimal winter protection here in the cold country of Germany. Stay tuned for a lot more fruit videos from the beautiful and incredibly fruit-rich village of St. Martin in Germany. And of course, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe.